I'm sure everybody watching has ended up in a situation where you've got a stack of a bunch of hundreds and maybe some 20s in there too, and you have to put it somewhere in your Porsche Cayman, but you just don't know where. Hi everybody, welcome to Meconomist. So today, I'm going to show you all the different places that you can hide $21,000 in cash in a used Porsche Cayman. Why $21,000? Well, because that's about what I paid for this thing, but also because $21,000 kind of stacks nicely into a little brick like this. So yes, I will admit this is a bit of a clickbaity title, but I think this will actually serve to illustrate all the really convenient small storage options that you have in a Porsche Cayman. I went over the bigger storage options in my previous video about the Porsche Cayman's 2 trunks. But in that video, I didn't cover all the really cool nooks and crannies in a Porsche Cayman where you can hide smaller stuff, like a stack of $21,000. The point is that you might actually be quite surprised with all the different small storage options that you have in an old Cayman like this, and it's actually pretty useful for things other than just hiding cash. First, I'm going to start out with the more obvious, well-known storage options, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to go into some of the more obscure, lesser-known, sort of quirky spots where you can hide a stack of cash like this. And for those skeptics out there, this is definitely 100% real cash that I pulled from an ATM, and it's not at all Chinese prop money that I got for $10 on Amazon, and then fit with a bunch of white paper in between just to make it look bigger. That's not what's going on at all. This is 100% real money. So let's go ahead and check it out. So the first storage space I want to tell you guys about is one that's pretty well known, and I failed to mention in my trunks video, even though it is kind of part of the back trunk here. So on both sides of the car, you have these little cubby hole things, these storage boxes, I guess. They're almost like saddle boxes, like you'd have in a pickup truck or Harley Davidson or something like that. They sit right next to the engine, and they're actually pretty deep. You could probably fit way more than $20,000 in there. But yeah, it's a very convenient place to hide your cash if you need to. Apologies for the continuity error. I didn't realize I had my AirPods in still. One of the most convenient storage spots in the entire Cayman is actually right here under the armrest. Anybody that owns a Cayman will of course know about this, but most people who have never been in one will just think that it's a normal armrest and there's nothing else to it. But when you open it up, there's actually a surprising amount of room in there, and plenty of room to hide your $21,000 in cash. Of course, this exists on both doors of the car, so that's even more places to put it. One of the most obvious places to put cash in any car is in the center console. And in the Porsche Cayman, it's no different. You just open it up, and it actually fits a stack of $21,000 perfectly. Look at that. All hidden. So of course, the glove box of your Porsche Cayman is one of the best places to hide a big stack of cash. It actually has quite a bit of room, as you can see. Even with this really fat user manual and warranty info and all that stuff in that little portfolio, you can still fit a decent amount of money underneath there. Plus you have a little pen holder right here, which is always very convenient in case you decide to write a check instead of pay with cash. And it closes up nicely and it locks for extra security. Now if all you have to hide is a couple $100, then you can open up this CD holder right here, and if you fold it in half, you can just slide that puppy right in there. And now it's completely invisible. That's about as secure as it's gonna get once you've locked it. So one of the most obscure places you can hide a stack of cash like this is actually right behind the rear tail light. Obviously this isn't really an official storage spot for anything, but that makes it perfect for if you're actually trying to hide something. So here it goes. All you have to do is take out this little pin here, and then you can pull back this little plastic cover. I'll try to move the camera over here so it'll balance. All right, and then you can put the money back there. I don't know if you can if you can really see that, but it kind of hides right behind the wheel well. And then, with a little bit of effort, you can put it all back in place, and it's just like new. See? Nobody could ever tell that there's $21,000 of cash hiding right behind that rear tail light. Now, the front trunk in a Porsche Cayman is just full of really convenient hiding spaces where you can put your cash. I'm going to start at the front and then move my way back so you can see all the good places. First of all, of course, if you want to be a little bit janky, you can hide it behind the trunk cover. But to me, that's kind of a cheap trick. It's not really a storage place. But if you saw my Cayman trunks video, you'll know that you have a whole storage space behind this panel here where you have your tire repair kit. If you take out the air compressor, you have a perfect place to hide your $21,000 in cash. Just like that, you've got a perfect hiding spot. The next spot I also shared in my last video, so I won't spend too much time on it, but it's right in here where normally the DVD navigation would be and where your CD changer is. You've actually got a surprising amount of space in there to put stuff. I mean, you could probably fit $100,000 in cash in there. Now, the next place is really only recommended if you're in a desperate situation, since it's right here alongside the battery. Generally, it's not a great idea to put flammable objects next to a bunch of electrical circuitry. So if you really need to, you can put it in next to the battery, but I don't really recommend it. One place you can store your Benjamins, if you split it up into two smaller stacks, is right underneath the sun visor. You pop it up like that on that side, and then do the same thing on this side, and it'll actually stay put. Oop. And it'll actually stay put like that. Now, hiding cash under the driver's seat is not a particularly creative or useful place to put it. But have you ever thought of putting your money underneath the steering wheel? Okay, I'm now realizing that it'll just fall out behind the steering wheel. It can go in right there in that slot, but if it's a thicker stack, you actually can reach underneath from the back side and put it in that way. Another extremely obscure spot is right next to your right foot by the gas pedal, behind the console there. There's enough room behind here where you can stuff a decent amount of cash right behind the radio and stuff. Now, you may be tempted to try to hide your stack of cash right here where you put your fluids for the engine. You got your oil and your coolant. This is where you put them in under this lid here. However, I don't recommend it. It doesn't really fit very well, and since these hinges here are made out of just hard plastic, if you try to force it, you can easily end up snapping these things. Not to mention, you might get your money all oily if something goes wrong. So in conclusion, there's actually a surprising number of places in a Porsche Cayman where you can hide the cash value of that Cayman inside of itself. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you'll excuse the very clickbaity premise of this video, because I hope it actually helped you understand some of the cool, interesting, quirky storage spots that a Porsche Cayman has. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. You're still watching? Well, if you are, I actually have a confession that this video is originally going to be how much cash can you fit in a Porsche Cayman. But it turns out that fake cash on the internet is actually more expensive than you might think. So I just ended up going with the $10 Amazon prop cash from China. When I bought this fake cash off Amazon, I thought it would come in a much bigger stack than it actually came in. It was really only like half an inch tall, or about 2 centimeters or whatever. And so I started cutting up paper, like just regular printer paper, to try to make it look thicker and get like several stacks for this video that I wanted to do, but it was taking forever. So that's why I changed the premise of the video, because the main point of the video was to just show the cool little storage spaces that are all over the Porsche Cayman, not to actually show how much real cash you can fit into a Cayman. I know some commenters aren't going to really get it, and they're not going to understand that this is trying to be actually educational, but whatever. I thought it was fun, and if you guys thought it was fun too, let me know in the comments and hit that like button, and hopefully you're already subscribed. So, thanks for watching to the end. Oh, and happy Pride Month to everybody out there. I welcome all genders, all orientations, trans, gay, bi, lesbian, queer, whatever you are, you're welcome on my channel. So happy Pride Month, and I'll see you guys in the next one.